Eala dominates Charaeva, through to second round of PH Women's Open. Filipina tennis star Eala is off to a dominant start in her campaign in the WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open. Eala trounced Russia's Eala Charaeva, 6-1, 6-2, in front of a huge home crowd on Monday night at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center to progress to the second round of the tournament. It was a sensational home debut for the 20-year-old Eala, who took care of business against world number 1 fortitude Charaeva to the delight of Filipino fans. Gusto ko lang magpasalamat sa inyong lahat na nandito kayo, a delighted Eala told the crowd after her win. Mahirap ibahagi ang nararamdaman ko ngayon, kasi matagal ko na itong pinapangarap. Maraming salamat. Eala repeatedly found her mark with down-the-line forehands to frustrate Charaeva, with the Filipina breaking her in the fourth and again in the sixth game of the opening set. With Eala serving, Charaeva showed great grit and threatened to break the Filipina. Eala scored back-to-back winners, however, before Charaeva committed an error in her return to hand the home favorite a comprehensive win in the first set. Charaeva won the first 2 games of the second set before Eala finally broke her in the third game. There was a nervous moment ahead of the fourth game, with Eala needing a medical timeout before she returned to the court to applause from the home crowd. She initially struggled with her movement, but displayed her trademark resolve and held her serve to tie the frame at 2-2. From there, it was all Eala, as the Filipina cruised past Charaeva and booked her place in the next round. "I'm in a good moment of my career," said Eala, whose meteoric rise in 2025 helped inspire the country's hosting of the WTA 125 tournament. "I want to say that I'm going up. I'm at my best ranking now." Eala will play the winner of the first-round match between Hibino Nao and Sakitsum Himino. Under the humid Philippine sky, where the air clings to skin and every rally feels like a test of will, Eala stepped onto the court with a quiet confidence that spoke louder than any roar from the stands. This was home, not just in geography, but in spirit. And as the match unfolded against Charaeva, it became clear that Eala wasn't simply playing to win. She was playing to assert who she is becoming. From the first serve, there was intent in Eala's movement. Her footwork was light, almost rhythmic, as if she were dancing to a tempo only she could hear. Each split step landed with purpose, each swing of the racket guided by patience rather than panic. Charaeva, a capable and composed opponent, tried early to impose her own patterns, deep ground strokes, probing returns, an effort to drag Eala into longer, grinding exchanges. But Eala read the court like a map she'd studied for years. The opening games told the story quickly. Eala's left-handed serve carved sharp angles, pulling Charaeva wide and opening up space for the next strike. Her forehand, clean and confident, dictated rallies instead of merely surviving them. It wasn't brute force that set her apart. It was clarity. She knew when to attack and, just as importantly, when to wait. What made the performance compelling wasn't just dominance, but control. Eala never looked rushed. Even when Charaeva managed to push back, finding depth, changing pace, trying to disrupt the Filipino star's rhythm, Eala absorbed the pressure calmly. She reset between points, eyes focused, breath steady, as if every rally were a small problem to be solved rather than a battle to be feared. There's something unmistakably mature about Eala's game now. Once known primarily as a prodigy with promise, she is steadily transforming into a player with presence. Her backhand down the line landed with surgical precision. Her net approaches were timed, not forced, and when she volleyed, it felt less like a gamble and more like a statement. "I belong up here. I belong in control of this point." The crowd felt it too. Each winner drew louder applause, not the wild noise of surprise, but the warm sound of recognition. Filipino fans have watched Eala grow, from junior courts to international stages, and there's a shared understanding in moments like this. Every stronghold of serve, every breakpoint converted, carries the weight of collective pride. Charaeva, to her credit, never stopped fighting. She adjusted her tactics, tried to shorten points, and tested Eala's movement with angled shots and sudden changes in direction. But whenever the door seemed slightly open, Eala closed it. A well-timed return here. A fearless forehand there. Momentum, once firmly in her grasp, stayed there. Perhaps the most telling moments came not after the winners, but after the errors. When a shot went long or clipped the net tape the wrong way, Eala didn't flinch. No dramatic reactions, no visible frustration, just a nod, attained back to the baseline, and renewed focus. It was the demeanor of a player who trusts her process. As the match moved toward its conclusion, the gap between the two players widened, not because Charaeva faltered dramatically, but because Eala elevated consistently. Her confidence seemed to grow with each game, her strokes loosening while remaining precise. When she finally closed out the match, there was no over-the-top celebration, just a composed smile, a brief look toward her team, and an acknowledgement of the crowd that had carried her with quiet belief. Advancing to the second round of the PH Women's Open is, on paper, just another step. But moments like this resonate beyond the scoreboard. For Philippine tennis, Eala represents possibility. She is proof that world-class competition doesn't have to feel distant, that excellence can be homegrown and nurtured under the same sun that beats down on local courts every afternoon. This victory wasn't just about dominance. It was about direction. It showed a player comfortable in her skin, confident in her choices, and ready for the challenges ahead. The second round awaits, and with it tougher tests, sharper opponents, and higher stakes. But if this performance is any indication, Eala isn't merely passing through this tournament.